Why the right audience engagement is critical to your business. Hey, we all want an engaged audience, but have you ever wondered what that really means to your business? What is the right engaged audience for your business? Yes, there will always be a right engaged audience for your event or experience. And quite frankly, you do not want to get that wrong because that will cost your business. Companies see events as an opportunity to connect with their employees, their customers, their communities, and they invest a great deal of expense in resources such as money and time. And no event is inexpensive, really. In addition, they invest other equity of their business, such as their brand, their culture, or their reputation, to support valuable business outcomes, of course. Or why would you bother? Therefore, there needs to be an ideal resonance between that experience and the audience in order to achieve those business outcomes. So how do you know you are properly engaging? I deal with a lot of that in my book, of course, available on Amazon. But to achieve the behavioral outcomes of your event, because all events are behavioral and asking for a behavior, you need to achieve what we call affecting engagement. We need to level our audiences up from adverse engagement through selective engagement and deceptive engagement to get them to affecting engagement. And to do this, you need to begin the process of resonating with your audience well before your event ever happens, at the very beginning of the planning stages. And just by thinking about it, you're already going to be improving your odds of resonating with your audience in a way that leads to affecting engagement. Let's look at 3 things that you can do to increase your odds and, frankly, do your company a favor. And you'll look like a superstar for knowing this, by the way. Know your audience. And I mean really know your audience psychologically. Create an environment for that audience to thrive, not just for your company to transfer information, and align the content systems for that audience in that environment that they thrive. So first, knowing the audience. For your event and the content to resonate, you must know your audience in a way that goes beyond traditional demographics. Those, quite frankly, tell you very little when it comes to cognitively resonating with your audience. Knowing things such as the barriers that might be standing in the way of your audience is an exceptionally good way of getting to engagement with them. Because if you know these, you can navigate through them more effectively. Things like personality traits. Is your audience likely to be more on the extrovert side or the introvert side? Because extroverts will attract to more energy, of course, and introverts will look for restorative, calming interactions. One study showed that extroverts tend to mind wander more than introverts. So what would that mean? It would mean tailoring the content to be more attention-grabbing at greater frequency to pull them back. Fatigue levels, both physical and mental. This can impact one's ability to engage. Is there a high task load or educational component to the event? Because if there is, you'll need to engineer more break time or allow them time to adjust prior. We've recommended things like arrival lounges, where we actually help them adjust faster because now we're doing them a favor and helping them likely to be able to pay more attention and dedicate their time and their mind to the experience. Was there a motivation to attend? This can impact their attention span as well. If attending an event voluntarily, for example, you'll have a higher motivation level from your audience. So get psychological, not demographical. Create the environment for them to thrive. Because when you design a restaurant, you want it to be inviting, where someone wants to spend time and engage with the menu, stay longer, drink more wine. So think of creating an environment where it helps your audience engage, not lulls or inadvertently repels by having too much stimuli all around them. This is where one should spend more time in the planning stages to create the balance and congruency of experience spaces that caters to the psychological states and variety of your audience, especially if there's likely to be a very neurodiverse range within your audience. For example, if you're holding a developer conference or engineering and different disciplines that tend to have more neurodiverse audiences. Energizing spaces for those that gravitate, restorative spaces for an in-between or those that do not. Traditional space is to help your audience adapt upon arrival and between events to manage their excitement or anxiety levels. Because remember, I say this all the time, there's a fine line between excitement and anxiety. Finally, align the content systems to the psychological diversity of your audience. Sequencing matters in maintaining the right audience engagement, like thermals of wind for keeping a glider in the air as long as possible. It can't just be one continuous gust, and that definitely not a windstorm or no air at all. The right content for the right environment, meaning the environment is well suited to them engaging with the content meaningfully. Does it require high mental load to follow or to remove as much distraction? The more space distracts from the content delivery, the more cognitive load and effort an attendee will have to spend not paying attention to something else and focusing and engaging on your content. So is it really absorbable content? Dial up the stimuli, not to let it fizzle if it's difficult to absorb. When we bring audiences together in our events, we are responsible for creating the best conditions for them to readily engage with our business. It is not difficult to engage an audience. Unfortunately, it is easy to engage them in the wrong way, where you risk driving them out of the experience or creating a negative brand experience, which is very difficult to recover from. So it's very well worth the effort. Take a little time to get to know your audience more intimately, psychologically. Design your experience to align with them and get the results you need for your business. So to learn more, check out my book, Engagement Decoded, available on Amazon, or go to my website where I'll be sharing more in the days ahead. And I look forward to sharing your engagement journey and helping you get better results. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Engagement Decoded. Do you want to learn more? Hit that subscribe button below and never miss an episode to learn how to increase engagement with your audience. I'm Ben Morsum, and thank you for watching.